What's up, everybody? Skip dap dabbly dilly dee.
Okay.
Ah. Oh, it's a three black guys show back from a small hiatus. A small hiatus.
Yeah, just a small one.
Oh, well, you all right there, boss?
I'm good. Something came across the thing that I'm good.
You good?
I'm good.
Boy, take a week or so off, boy. Y'all come back like y'all know what y'all doing.
Brother, I'm over here struggling.
You struggling?
I'm struggling over here, man.
You struggling? Yeah.
Yeah,
Get
I
over
usually
it.
have all my stuff up and running, man. And I forgot where I put stuff. It's just,
I'm saying,
it's a
man, it's like there's something going on. It hadn't even popped up that we live. What's
It's up there. I'm looking at it.
Are
Yeah,
you?
boss. Yeah.
Refresh your page. First
I
of
did.
all, everybody put up your threes.
Oh, there we go.
Boom.
Mm.
Zaza
We
Bizza.
back, baby.
Mm.
We back.
Zaza Bizza.
We are back. Look, James is back from recuperating from an accident in Area 51.
Yeah, I'm
He
still
got attacked by an alien.
He got checked by an alien.
He got attacked by an alien in Area 51 and jacked his neck up, suplexed him. Bow, bow.
Jins for fly nickel.
Boom.
Boom. Yeah, we're way back.
Stop playing.
Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Let me tell you something.
Hey, boy.
Hey, look, he was in Area 51, and Randy Macho, Randy Macho, what's his name? Macho Man came out of it.
Macho Man,
tell you something, James. Let me tell you something. You're just not going to come in here.
Right. What?
Woo. What's up, everybody? We missed y'all, man. Let us know where you from. So we got a few folks in here, man. Let us know where you from. Hit us up. We're going to talk about a little black on black crime today. We're going to talk about Trump. We got to talk about Trump because he is the elephant. Now, I'm not even going to say Rome. He's the elephant.
He's the elephant in the world.
In the world. He's the elephant
in the world. He's the elephant
world.
in the world.
In the world, yes, he is big and round. He is round, he is. So I want to introduce everybody. I want to introduce my main man, Mr. James Fred, with the crick in the neck.
Yeah, man. I'm telling you, it's tight, man. Like it's tight right there. I don't know what. It may be stress, man. It may be stress.
Keep put that thing on him.
It may be stress. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, week before last when we was on the air with the ladies.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, you saw how she was cutting them that out, right?
Right.
She kept cutting them out. She was real quiet. And then we get a call from James.
My neck and my back. Oh, my neck and my back.
My neck and my back. He put. That's all. That's all. You ain't gotta make no excuses. We know what the deal was. Bro.
Oh, look at he went go. Where'd you go?
He took his ball and went home.
He took his ball. Come on back, James.
He took his ball and went home.
We got to get you a little bit, dude. We got to rib you. Got to rib you just a little bit, bro.
Oh boy, it's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be a long night.
It's gonna be all right, man. Come on, it's gonna be all right. It's gonna be all right.
All right.
Okay.
Of course, I want to introduce my homeboy, based extraordinaire, Mr. Mario Leonard.
When you said that, Candy Rain, the way that thing came out, boy. Candy Leonard. I'm the world's most okayest bass player.
What?
What's happening? I'm decent. I'm good enough for government work. You know.
Wow. I'm trying to share it. I don't know what's going on. I'm tripping.
Yeah, I've been trying to share mine too.
Yeah, I don't know what's going
Yeah,
on.
it's like everything is just kind of moving in slow motion tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know,
we've been off for a while, so
we've been off for a minute, so it's gonna take a minute to get back into the groove. Hey, y'all, I see we got some folks on, man. Tell us where you at. Hit us in the chat. Tell us what's going on, man. We're trying to, give it a little time because it takes a minute for people to log in.
So we just talking. We just talking, giving y'all a chance to get on in here. I see we got a few people on, a few peoples. We missed y'all, man. Let me say first of all, we had to take a little hiatus, and while James recovered and licked his wounds. And so
I was gonna say something, but I'm not gonna say. That might have been the problem.
My bad.
Okay, so, my bad. I'm sorry, James. I ain't gonna say nothing else, man. I ain't gonna.
Yeah, we're not gonna rag you no more, James. But while y'all come in, we just small talking before we get into the subject matter, the matter at hand. But we did miss you guys, and miss chit chatting with our regulars that normally come on deck. And I was getting text behind the scene. Hey man, what's going on? Y'all not on the air? Check the Facebook page.
Right.
Yeah, if you look up and you don't see us on the air 9 times out of 10, we have put a message out there to let you know that we were not going to be airing that night.
And please forgive us, guys. Sometimes we have to take a break. Things happen. And we have to take a quick little break. That's all.
Yeah.
And go ahead.
Before you go into that, let's say this. Let me say this as well. When we did the last show that we did with the ladies, and the show was kind of about what a lot of people considered to be trivial. The matter.
Yeah, they did. We got slammed, dude.
We got slammed for that. But guys, sometimes we need a break. Our mind needs a break.
Right.
I'm still staying angry. But sometimes, man, we just need a break. Sometimes there's so much going on and so much happening in rapid succession, and sometimes you just need to take a break from the craziness, man.
Right.
So allow us those shows every now and then. And when you see those shows, that's just shows for us to just take a breath and just breathe. You know what I mean? Because like I said, it's always stuff to be mad about. And you have to kind of curb that sometimes. So that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Steve-L?
Yeah. I like that.
Yeah, that's ticket.
You did good. Yeah.
Thank you.
So on this day, we have 4.31 million cases confirmed. 4.31 million cases confirmed in the United States of America. We have 1.3 million people have recovered from COVID, and that is awesome. But we have 149K deaths under the watch of Sir Donald John Trump. 149K Americans dead because of Donald, the con artist.
Wait a minute, because of Trump?
Yeah. I'm gonna say
they died. They died because of him.
He said what he said.
Oh, okay.
I didn't thought I stuttered.
He stuttered. He said what he said.
I said what I said.
So are you saying that Donald Trump created COVID-19?
No, I'm saying hold on a second. I'm saying the lack of leadership has caused many deaths. Of Donald J. Trump. The
lack of leadership.
Yes.
Okay. Do we have to do a lesson in virology here, or are we gonna move on?
He said virology.
Yes.
He said virology. He went to school for like half a minute.
Okay. Watch this. You can say, do you want to go ahead and do the lesson? And then go ahead, James.
Yes. Do the lesson in virology. Yes, sir. Go ahead.
So listen, all right, we can do this real quick. I don't care who was in office. The virus is going to do what it's got to do.
Right.
When he leaves office and somebody else takes hold, the virus is still going to be there. still going to be killing people. So,
at what rate?
Say what?
At what rate?
At whatever rate the virus decides to spread at. Nobody's going to stop it. Your mask ain't going to stop it. Your gloves ain't going to stop it. Your disinfectant ain't going to stop it. That's been proven throughout the years.
As I sip my tea.
I go off facts and not emotion.
Well, the fact is because if we study the same flu, well, not the same flu, but the same type of virus, the Spanish flu, we saw the same hills and valleys America did, almost note for note. When we wore a mask, back then it went down. When they opened up before it was ready, they went back up. Same thing.
But think about what happened, though. Think about what we did this time before the virus even had a chance to take hold. What did we do? We shut down, right?
Right.
So because we shut down, nobody had a chance to catch it. So now that we've opened back up, guess what's happening? Numbers are skyrocketing. More people are dying. Why?
Right.
Let me know when he gets to the end of his rant.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Why? It's simply because that's the way viruses work.
I understand what you're saying, but if is there something called a prevention? Do women just get pregnant because of the condom?
Not the same thing. Not with a virus. Not with a virus, and not with the bacteria that causes the viruses. No.
Okay. All right. But anyway,
there's not enough knowledge about it. You got people running around here wearing masks outside. Nobody's wearing a mask in their house though. So is your house sealed and contained from the virus?
No, but you have to be a carrier person in the house to carry it. It just
how do you know you're not? How do you know you're not?
Well, we could take tests, but we can't get the test right because somebody did not give the test out.
You can't get a test now.
You can't get it. You can't. Some can get a test, but you won't get the results back in a timely manner. It might take 5 to 7 days.
That's Trump's fault.
Yes.
How was that?
Because you want to know why? You want to know why? There was one president who set up a task force.
What's that got to do with getting the test results back?
There was one president that set up a task force specifically for pandemics.
But what's that got to do with? They were set up to identify pandemics and how to handle them. They were not set up to do testing or receive test results. So
they already had a playbook, and I'm gonna say this every single time. There was a playbook that had connections to all the people that need to have to get tests, to set up hospitals.
Well, I tell you what, then let's just blame Trump for AIDS too, since he was around when AIDS started.
Well,
cancer.
Well, since we blaming, Trump seems to want to blame Obama for stopping COVID-19 testing.
Well, because he's an idiot.
COVID-19 testing didn't even exist.
What you're doing is
didn't even exist until the Trump administration in 2019.
You're basing this off of the words of an idiot. So we can't go by that.
Trump.
We can't go by that.
Yes,
we understand who's he gonna blame. He's just as crazy. But we're not helping anything by not addressing the issues and just blaming him.
So as he blames Obama and then he blames it, he calls it the China virus.
Right.
Can we since we just call the names, can we call it the Trump virus?
I like that.
Some people do.
I like that. I think from now on I will call it the Trump virus. It will no longer be COVID-19. It would be the Trump virus.
I just think it was a lack of leadership. I think we could have held this a lot better if we had better leadership. The man just now putting on a mask. Just now putting on a mask.
And that's only a political play to his constituents. That's all.
Because there was a whole bunch of those idiots out there not wearing masks because they believe what the president was saying more than the freaking scientists, and a whole bunch of them got it. So now let's talk about this right quick. Trump has now canceled the RNC convention in Florida.
Right.
Because of the dangers, or what's the word I want to use? Because they might get his constituents might get the coronavirus.
Right. He said it wasn't the right time. Their
Wait,
I
case,
thought it was,
wait.
Wasn't it a hoax?
No, it was a hoax, but now we're
Okay.
concerned about constituents.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
So we have Trump now, who's canceling the RNC convention because the conditions are not right, and he's afraid that his constituents might catch it. But yet and still, he wants your child, and
Come on,
your
sir.
child to
Come
go
on.
to school.
Sit in the classroom.
Can we talk about this for a minute? Does it make sense for a man to say, hey, we can't have a convention because we're afraid of the coronavirus, but willing to send our children into harm's danger? Does anybody have anything to say about that? Anybody?
I have something to say about it. He trying to kill us. Long and short, he wants to kill your children. He wants to use your children as guinea pig. He's trying to thin the herd.
Mhm.
It's a conspiracy.
Mhm.
He's trying to kill us. James, he trying to kill us. The herd need to be thinned. The what is it? The 1% that controls the behind the scenes. They trying to take us out. Too many of us. How they gonna feed us in the future?
So
Get us out.
here's the
I'm joking, but yeah.
Here's the thing.
crazy. You care more about your constituents than you care about.
Here's the thing, okay? Once again, none of this stuff bothers me because I always take into consideration of the person, okay? And I understand how this political stuff works. Of course, he's got to cancel this thing in Florida because their cases started skyrocketing like crazy. So of course,
they had a
he's
handle
going
on
to
it, though.
say what?
So they got a handle on it, though. That's what he said. This thing's gonna disappear like a
What's
miracle.
supposed to disappear in the heat of the summer?
You gotta do this.
Well,
when you say-
we got to understand that's Trump's arrogance. That's
His
that's
ignorance.
his arrogance. He feels like when you're dealing with a narcissist, they feel like everything is in their control, and this definitely is not in his control. This was one time he decided to listen to somebody tell him, hey, this convention in Florida probably shouldn't happen. So he canceled it. Now, like you said, in the meantime, he's telling the governors, y'all got to open y'all schools back up. If y'all don't open y'all schools back up, we ain't giving them no money.
I'm gonna cut funding.
All right. So, of course, it's a contradiction. It's hypocrisy. It's ignorant. It's stupid. But again, we're talking about Donald Trump. I've been alive on this earth 44 years. And since I've known about Donald Trump, he's been a hypocrite. He's been an idiot. He's been stupid. So, for me, I expect, Steve, you remember one time when you said when it came to Biden, you expect him to say stupid things? I feel the same way about Trump. If he says something that makes sense, I'm going to get scared at that point.
like he did this week.
Because even with the canceling of the convention, I'm still waiting for something else to come of that. You know what I'm saying? I'm still waiting for something else to pop off, or he decides to have it. Like, I'm still not convinced that he's just not going to do it. I'm not convinced of that because it makes too much sense. But when he says something like open up all the schools, that's Donald Trump to a T right there, baby. Like that's typical Donald J. Trump. Let me say something that makes absolutely no sense. For me, it was simple. When they was talking about letting prisoners out of jail, you gonna let prisoners out of jail, but tell me my child can go to school? No. We ain't doing that.
Nah.
And for me, it's simple. Now, my personal belief is that I don't necessarily think that the kids will be in danger, but I'm not willing to put my children's health at risk based off of what I believe, because I could be wrong. You see what I'm saying? So for me, it's just a simple thing of forget about what I think and what I believe, because there's a chance I could be wrong, and I'm just not willing to bet their health on that. It doesn't make sense. I own a janitorial company. I've cleaned schools. I know how schools get cleaned. They don't get cleaned right. You got to deal with other issues. They want to social distance the kids. That means you're going to be splitting classrooms in half. How you going to get other teachers to deal with these other half of these kids? You're already having trouble paying the teachers that you got. You're going to need more teachers to deal with the other kids that you just now split. So there's a lot of other issues for me that came about other than just safety. How y'all going to do it? Y'all don't even have a game plan on how to do it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, no. Even Birmingham decided that they were going virtual the first 9 weeks. Cool. My kids wasn't going regardless. Regardless of what they decided. It wasn't going to happen because I know for a fact if these kids change out classes, you're not disinfecting in between classes. If you keep them all in the same class that they were talking about, so you trying to tell me for 8 hours you're going to keep these kids in one class.
Yeah, right.
They're gonna eat in this class. Right. And you, man, please, that's torture.
Torture. And
that's not gonna work. My son's attention span ain't that long.
That's kind of like
you ain't gonna keep him in one setting for no 8 hours and think that he's finna learn something or not cut up on y'all. I'm sorry. Right. It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
So for me, there was a lot of more other things that they just weren't thinking about. Trump has no clue about this stuff. So for me, it didn't matter what he said.
And then Carlton made a very good point. Carlton made a very good point. He said he can't control the money that goes to school. Can you expound on that, James?
You said what now? He can't control the money?
Yeah, right. Carlton Mack said he can't control the money that goes, and that's not the first time I've heard that. He doesn't.
And that's the other thing. But he can't personally control it, but we do know that Trump has influence with certain people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So he can't just say, no, we're going to cut it off. But his influence, and he does have people that's scared of him for some reason, that'll make decisions based off of what he wants.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So he can't control it, but the governors of the states can funnel that money differently. You see what I'm saying? So
do you think the governor would be that ignorant to kill?
Our governor, yes, I think she would. Definitely.
You think she would?
Our governor, definitely. Yes, absolutely.
You think she would what?
Would she be that ignorant to rechannel monies from education to other things?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. See, I think, and my thoughts on the thing is that, and I'm gonna read what Harold said. Baticon, he said something on my side.
Mm-hmm.
Is that Trump wants to get this? He wants to get the economy running so bad. He wants to get the economy running so bad that he wants to put the children in danger because if the kids are at school, then the parents can work.
Well, you got to remember that the economy was his winning ticket. You see what I'm saying? That was his winning ticket. Right. Now the economy is gone. He has nothing to stand on. You know what I'm saying?
He built 3 miles of the wall. 3 miles. You hear me? He got 3 miles to keep the Mexicans out of here.
Like, dude, I mean,
so they just walk around the other side. After 3 miles, they go three.
Hey, look, and he attempted
1 mile and walk around.
He attempted to do away with Obamacare, which of course these idiots now need because they have COVID.
And that's what I'm saying. He lost the one thing he had to stand on with the economy. So now he's dead in the water for real. Even his supporters, they're drowning, they sick,
right,
and they suffering. Right. So of course he wants the economy back up and running because that was his ticket. Like that was going to be the one thing that he was going to be able to say at campaign rallies and all that was how good the economy was going. Well, now
he ain't got that.
You have nothing. So now you're trying to rely on you may have what you did with the taxes that benefited some people. Some of us benefited from it because we took advantage of it. But that was only those of us who had businesses who consulted people on how we could take advantage of it because it wasn't made clear.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So Other than that, he has nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so what we need is for his competitor, Mr. Biden, to stop saying dumb stuff.
He's
Like
going to
Trump,
dumb stuff.
like Trump was the first racist president. You know, we got to stop him.
You know what I mean?
Like,
We just need him to stop saying stupid stuff for a minute.
Yeah, and look ahead, do like this.
what you say?
Like he really needs better people behind him, man. And just like, listen, stick to what we wrote for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Stop going off ticket, man. You just, it's like, bro, we giving you the vote. And it's almost like you doing everything and saying everything to try to give it back.
All right, so we got GI on here. What's up, GI, man? Long time no see, boss.
Yeah.
GI says, which party controls Congress? Who has to sign the budgets to have them implemented? Who appoints the Secretary of Ed?
Republican Party.
Republican Party, right. Betsy DeVos, who was appointed by who other than Donald the Con Trump.
Ooh.
So yeah, he has access to control those funds.
Right.
Especially with Betsy DeVos, who's all about filtering a whole bunch of that money to private schools.
Right.
That's what she's all about.
She's
all about trying to get that money to private schools. She is really trying to do away with the public system, guys. And so, yeah, he's got a point. He's got a point.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, if he really wanted to, he could push and have that done. But my thing is, and for me though, if the schools if they're going virtual, I don't think if you stop some funds, it's not going to hurt them that bad this year because they of course they need money.
Yeah, come on, man. I'm a parent, dude. I'm buying more pencils and notebooks, and
that's exactly what I'm saying. If they go in virtual, and I think the virtual thing is going to go longer than 9 weeks, then there's certain things that the schools won't have to buy, they won't have to do. So my thing is, if I was a principal, I'd tell them, do what you do. My kids ain't coming. It's just that simple. You know what I'm saying? It's just that simple. And a lot of schools here in Birmingham and in Bessemer said that. So even before the districts got together and decided, before the school board got together and decided that they were going virtual, a lot of principals had already said, my kids ain't coming.
So I want to ask a question to our listeners. How many of y'all are going to let your kids, go to school, let them do virtual, or you going to homeschool? As we're going to start moving along. You guys can answer that question, put it in the comments, and let us know what you're going to do with your kids this year. Are you going to homeschool them? Are you going to let them go to school? Or are you going to virtual school them bad boys? Let me tell you what, my wife is going to homeschool, guys. So y'all pray for her. Because she gonna try to homeschool.
So is she doing her own homeschool or the school that the kids go to doing virtual? She's gonna do her own thing.
She's gonna do her own thing, curriculum and everything, man. So that's what we're doing here in the Myers house. So if you guys right quick, tell us what you're doing, what your kids gonna do this year.
I was gonna do straight homeschool too if the school had decided that they were gonna let the kids come. I was just gonna do homeschool, but since they're doing virtual. Then, because at the end of last year, my son's teachers did a real good job of how they handled the virtual those last few weeks. Like they did a really good job, man. His teachers, they were doing Zoom meetings every week with the kids to make sure they was up on their assignments. Some of them set up Facebook pages that the kids could log into. They took advantage of Google Classroom so the kids could get in there and ask each other questions. They did a real good job. They really did. So I was like, okay, we can probably do the virtual learning thing. And actually it was easier for me because I had access to all that stuff. So if he didn't get something done, I knew it immediately.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was like if he missed an assignment or didn't finish it, like I got a notification automatically, I was like, this is even better than
In regular school.
right? Because
My kid, dude, nah. They sat there, looked at this computer like, like when nothing happened at the end of the school. They was like, so.
Well, let me tell you, I'm listening to y'all talking. I got quiet because I ain't got these problems. I don't have these problems.
Yeah. What's up, Deborah?
22. I don't have this problem.
Yeah, and I think it's gonna be, it's gonna be rough on the kids. Like I'm gonna have to set up to where it's like they're gonna have to be at school, even though they're gonna be at home. Like I'm gonna make them get up, put on clothes,
right?
All of that. You know what I'm saying? You ain't finna sit in front of the computer in your drawers with some clothes on,
right?
Dressed,
right?
You know what I'm saying? And
this room right here behind me is gonna be the classroom,
right?
Oh
yeah. They got to get up, brush their teeth,
right? All of that,
and come downstairs and catch them paws,
right?
All right, guys, we got to switch gears.
Okay. All right.
I'm tired of talking about Trump and COVID and kids. So now let's talk about what happened in Louisville, Kentucky this week. We're gonna
bang. Bang, pop out.
Yeah. We're gonna let Mario handle that. Then
Mario, I'm gonna let you say.
I'm gonna do this one off.
You set that up, dude.
You want to set it up?
No, I'm gonna let. Hey, that's you, Doc.
Oh, okay.
You handle it.
I have no notes, but I set this one up off my head. Ladies and gentlemen, the NFAC, the Not Effing Around Coalition, went up to Louisville, Kentucky, over 1,000 strong.
I mean 1,000 strong.
1,000 plus strong, baby, in protest with guns, dressed in black, in protest over Breonna Taylor and the people involved in her murder not being charged. They showed out very strong. In comparison to the NFAC, 1,000 plus being there, the 3 percenters, which is a white militia, had about 12 folk showing up to do what they called what did they call? They were backing the police just in case anything went down. They were there for support.
All 12 of them.
All 12. All 12 of the Kentucky chapter of the 3 percenters.
They were gonna back the police up, huh?
All 12. Now we can say, even though they did make a no, I'll do that last. The leader of the NFAC, who is Grandmaster Jay, I think his name is he's Johnson. Last name is Johnson. Did say, and I'm not quoting verbatim, but if y'all don't get this handle, we gonna come back up here and we're gonna burn this MF down. Those were his words. That's the leader of the NFAC. And they were there along with the NFAC. You had the Black Lives Matter movement. People were there in protest. That were not necessarily marching with them, but marching, in the vicinity thereof. And well, it did not all go without a hitch. This is the part I don't want to report, but if you go report it, you got to report it all.
Report it all, Doc. You got to
report it all. We did have one member's gun to misfire. Well, not misfire, to go
discharge.
off. Yeah, discharge. And 3 people were injured. No life-threatening injuries. And at the time I initially read it, they said that no charges were going to be brought against anyone. But Steve, you said you got something different, didn't you?
Well, no, it was probably before they went ahead and said that they were going to charge the guys, but it's probably dropped by now since the man shot himself.
Yeah, my last reading of it right before we came on said that no charges were going to be filed, and they did get commended by the police and things of the in that area that things it was well handled.
So moral of the story is, if you're gonna march with your guns, make sure the safety on.
You took it out of my mouth. That's it, James. Make sure your safety on, man. If you gonna march with your gun, hey, make sure you practice with your gun, and two, have the wherewithal to know if you're gonna load one in the chamber, it must be on safety at all times.
All times.
At all times.
So
I want to know from our people that are on and watching us and listening to us, what do y'all think about groups like the NFAC, which is to me is a phenomenon? Reminds you of the brothers of the Black Panther Party.
It is reminiscent of that, is it not?
It is. It really is. I mean, because they, that's when this whole gun law thing started. When the brothers showed up in California with their guns, the NRA said, hold up, Negroes with guns, hold up a second. Let's change this. Y'all can't be coming out here with your guns, with these Negroes having their guns. Mm-hmm. The NRA had an issue with that, and they really started doing something with gun laws back then. Mm-hmm. So I want to know, people have you ever heard of the NFAC? And what's the guy's name that leads it, Mario? What's his name?
He calls himself Grandmaster J.
Grandmaster J is a colorful person, guys. Let me tell you. You need to check him out online. What are your thoughts about the NFAC, the Not Effing Around Coalition? James, what are your thoughts, sir?
Man, I love it. I absolutely love it. I think it's one of those things, man, where I think for years, as Black people, especially as Black men, we were made to feel like we couldn't do stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because, we were looked at as dangerous and the thing is that when you
no, you ain't. Hush, bro. I'm a member of the NFAC. No, we're not talking about the NAAG, NAAG. You know what is the National African American Gun Owners and stuff?
Yeah.
That's not what we're talking about there.
But we've been looked at as dangerous, and I think for a single Black man to walk around with his gun, will probably get him profiled and probably may cause a little trouble for him. But when you've got 20, 25, 50, 100 Black men marching, that makes people back up. It's just like when those guys in Georgia showed up there at where Ahmaud Arbery was killed at, and
same guys,
and it was the same. Okay, yeah, and and the police pulled up and then left because they didn't want no parts of that.
You know
what I'm saying? They didn't want no parts of it. There was nothing they could do about it. So it was okay. We're gonna leave them alone and let them go. That's why it trips me out, man, when I see these white dudes, on social media posting their guns and what they gonna do and all that. Like, do y'all not realize Black people have guns? We have a lot of guns. You know how y'all like to always talk about Black on Black crime? What y'all think we shoot each other with? BB guns? I mean,
that's funny, but it's not funny.
It's funny, but
it's not funny. But I'm saying, what do you think? What do you think the crimes are being done with? You know what I'm saying? So you come to the hood, you might want to leave up out of there. So for me, man, I think it's a wonderful thing that these cats are doing it, and they're doing it legally, and there's nothing that anybody can do about it. I think it's a wonderful thing. What people got to watch out for, and it's I think maybe it'll start happening, is you're going to have the ones who illegally are going to start showing up demanding justice. Right. That's where a problem is going to come in at. Because right now, Black people as a whole are mad. So whether I can legally have a gun or not, I still might show up with my gun. So it's I love it. Okay. I love it. I love it, man.
Here's mine. Can I go?
Go ahead.
Yeah, go.
I think it is well past due for us to show ourselves in force. I think we haven't seen this kind of show of force since the days of the Black Panther Party movement. It's time to let people know that we are here. It's time to let people know that you will just not sit back and do us any kind of way, and we not have a way to deal with it.
Right.
So from that perspective, and I also say that it's time that the world sees that not only white people have guns,
right?
Not only white people know how to protect themselves. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we around the world can be looked at as sleeping giants. You know what I'm saying? We take a lot, but we never dish things back out. Well, this shows you that we have the wherewithal and we have the power to dish it back out if it gets too far out of hand. Keep poking me in my side. Eventually, I'm gonna turn around and elbow you in the nose.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Eventually, you're gonna catch an elbow in the nose. And this is just showing the world that, you know, I think we might need to back off of them. You know, it should be giving you that hold upness. You know what I mean? But here's what I do believe. Eventually.
That's a good word.
It's a new word. Eventually, there will be a fight. Eventually, you getting all of us up in mass numbers like that. Somebody is gonna come picking at it. Just to try to pull your whole card.
There's gonna be a good old boys show up.
It's gonna be a battle. One of these old days, it's gonna be. That's the Baptist coming out. It's gonna eventually be a battle. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be soon, or but eventually something's gonna go down.
So I want to transition, guys, into we've been talking for about 40 minutes, but should NAGA be focusing in on NAGA is a great opportunity, guys. I'm going to tout them because it's a gun. It's like the NRA, but it's for Black people. And if you own a gun, I would really consider going and becoming a member of the NAGGA, because pretty soon they're gonna have some political clout because of the size of their membership. But is the NFAC, is it really going to help in the Black community? So because I want to move on into Black Lives Matter, I want to move into the NFAC. Is it helpful for the Black community in the aspect of Black on Black crime? Yes, we know you're a member of NAGA. Yeah. She was ready. She had that copy and pasted. Right. When we talk about Black Lives Matter, the constant rebuttal for that is, why are we caring about why don't we care about Black on Black crime? So let's for a moment let's talk about Black on Black crime, and in the aspect of Black Lives Matter, and even in the look at and in the face of the NFAC. I know Mr. James Fred has a lot to say.
I know.
Yeah, whatever.
Let me get my popcorn.
Right. Hey, y'all get ready for this. This is gonna take a minute. But we always have that rebuttal with, here's Black on, why don't y'all march? Somebody died. There's a Black on Black crime. Pookie and them got shot at the Galleria. We gonna march now? I'm telling you right now, it makes me mad when I hear dumb jump like this. But I'm gonna let James go first, and then we'll go from there.
So here's the thing. I can answer that question real quick. What people don't know is that Black Lives Matter does march and show up to stuff like that. That's what a lot of people don't seem to understand, because the news doesn't cover it. So they just don't know it. But Black Lives Matter, they do. When crimes happen in the Black community, they do show up. They do say something. So those statements are ignorant anyway. Now, to address it though, like we don't have to dig too deep into this. It's real simple. Black on black crime happens in black neighborhoods. Okay, so for instance, recently here at the Galleria there was a shooting where a child got shot.
Right.
I saw when the news posted, you had all these white folks. Where's Black Lives Matter? Where are the protests? Well, first of all, idiot.
I was hoping you would.
You don't seem to understand that when we protest, it's not necessarily the crime that we're protesting, it's the lack of justice for the crime.
Right.
So we didn't have to protest that Galleria shooting. Why? Because justice was swift with those black kids that did it. Those kids were caught quickly. Those kids were locked up quickly. Those kids didn't go home, didn't go back to the job and clock out and go home and kick their feet up for a few days after sticking their knee in somebody's neck and killing them.
Right.
Come on, James.
Okay? So when black on black crime happens, justice is normally pretty swift. You see what I'm saying? So that's just people. And when black people say it, y'all just don't understand what the protests are about. You don't understand what the outrage is about. The outrage, yes, we're upset that George Floyd got killed, but we're more upset that the man that killed him went home and watched Disney Plus with his family.
Watch The Mandalorian.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we were pissed about.
Right.
If they had to lock that man up, that stuff would have never happened. Period.
That's
would have never happened. So to even compare to the two, to me, is stupid. Now, if we just want to address crime in the black community, yes, it's a problem. It's a big problem. And it's a problem that we've been addressing for years. But the problem when you have Uncle Tom coon Negroes that always want to stand against what we're trying to do and always have something negative to say instead of actually doing something to help, that's the problem. Because everybody's got an opinion, but who has anybody helped? How many young black kids have you talked to? How many schools have you gone into? How many times have you been to the hood to do anything with crime intervention? How many times have you been to the hood to try to help people? No. People want to sit on the sidelines and stand there and look and criticize.
Right.
Listen, I've been there. I've been there when people are pointing guns at each other, trying to calm the situation down. I've been there. So when people come that to me, yes, I get pissed about it because it's normally somebody who's sitting in their big house on the other side of town who don't come to the hood, who always got something to say.
Over the mountain, as we say here.
Right.
In Birmingham. Right.
Who ain't got nothing, but they always want to say, what about black on black crime? They don't care nothing about black folks in it. Shut up, nigga. And
you mean that in the truest sense of the word.
In the truest sense of the word.
Ignorance of it.
The ignorance
in the
of it.
truest sense of the word. You can't talk to me about that if you ain't doing nothing, period. I don't want to hear it. If you ain't doing nothing, keep your opinion to yourself. And you're more than welcome to your opinion. It's a free country, but I don't have to hear it. Voice it someplace else. And that's the biggest issue when it comes to crime in the black community is that so many of us have moved out of the hood, which I don't have a problem with. Better yourself, do better, that's fine. But then don't go there and sit and criticize everything that's happening. And you're not going to do a thing or lift a finger to try to help it or try to fix it.
Right.
Are you going to try to organize so we can police our communities, so we can catch the criminals and make sure the criminals don't get killed, but make sure they go to jail, make sure they make it to the jailhouse for whatever crime they committed?
So let me ask you a question.
If you break into a house, Pookie need to go to jail.
So do you really think, I'm going to ask you a question, I'm just playing the advocate because that's my job. Do you think that we could really police our own communities?
Yes. If we cared about them enough, we could.
So the
if
question
we cared about them enough, if we were really sincere about it, yes, we could.
But let me throw this in.
Let
me throw this in. Just like you said, black on black crime exists where black people live. White on white crime exists where white people live. But we don't hear about them addressing the crime in their areas like we're talking about trying to,
because white people like to hide their problems and they don't like to deal with their problems.
Right. And it's not sensationalism.
It's not sensationalized. It doesn't sell papers when Jim Bob, hopped up on meth,
right,
steal somebody's truck and kill somebody over it. You know what I'm saying?
White people got a big problem. Their young men are like to run up in schools and shoot everybody because they were bullied.
Right.
They need to address that in their community.
That's when they get on the news.
They need to address it. Remember back in the 80s and 90s, it was all these things, about how we needed to talk to young black men and we needed to get counseling for young black men. Well, in the 2000s, these young white men need something because Billy go to school, and if somebody tell Billy he got a pimple face, Billy want to come get a flipping AK and go to the school and kill everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So as far as I'm concerned, it's because white people like to hide what's going on. They're delusional, don't want to admit that there is an issue in the white community that needs to be addressed that's affecting them, because these are white schools mostly that these kids are running up in shooting everybody.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But that's an issue that they don't want to address. They want to simply say it's mental health problems, and we're going to leave it up to that.
Right.
Our kids are in these same communities that are so dangerous. Our kids are growing up in these communities, in these war zones.
Yeah.
What do you think that's doing to them?
Mm-hmm.
It's
causing post-traumatic stress disorder.
Right. PTSD. Right. PTSD.
Right. But check this out. I've had the opportunity to drive trucks from left to right in our country. And when you get out in the Midwest, they don't have projects like we have projects. They have trailer parks.
Right.
Trailer parks. And the same crime that they say exists in our projects and in our inner cities is the same crime. The drug may be different.
Right.
But the crime still exists. It may be meth out there. It might be bath salts. It might be all of this other stuff out in the Midwest in these trailer parks.
Kids eating Tide Pods and stuff, man.
But that's where the crime exists in the white communities. So the crime is the crime. Is James, you did a beautiful job in explaining how I feel about it. So I don't need to go any further.
My thoughts about when I hear somebody counters with black on black crime, and there's statistics, and I'm not going to go through all those statistics about how you got more black people than you have white people, so therefore you have all this other. I'm not doing it. I think when black people say, because white people are going to say it anyway, because they like to take the heat off them any way they can.
Mm-hmm.
But when you have, hey Tracy, we talk about black on black crime tonight. When you have white people that say, black people that say, well, what about black on black crime?
Your mama. That's what I say.
I think it is ignorant. I think it takes away from the argument that we're trying to have about the brutality, because we know there's always going to be crime on crime in any race. White people kill white people just as much. You know what I mean? It's just that, white people, like you say, they be lying and it's not reported because it's not sensationalized. But my thing is, guys, when you say things like this, you are letting the powers that be it the police or be it Jim Bob or anybody else, you let them off the hook. You let them change the conversation. And so therefore it takes the power out of what we're trying to get across. And I think it is a coward's move. I think it is the most cowardice thing to bring up what about black on black crime?
Your mama.
Shut up. And I want to say shut the H up, because what you're doing is you're removing the power of the conversation that we're trying to have. You're taking the power or the wind out of our sails when we're trying to push for something. We're trying to push for the police not to kill us. We're trying to have equal justice. But when you say, well, what about black on black crime? That just say, well, like, who are those brothers that come on, those twins? I can't think of their names. There's two brothers that they're the twins that come on. They're on YouTube. They're conservative.
You got me there.
Oh, I think I heard about them. A friend of mine asked me, was our show like theirs?
Right.
I can't think of their names. Though he did mention their names.
So they're idiots. They are complete idiots. Just like that chick that nobody likes, that black chick right now. What's her name? The conservative chick, whatever.
I done forgot her name. That's what
I forgot her name. Owens.
Yeah. Candy Owens, whatever. She's an idiot. She's taking the power because then white people say, well, look, what about that Negro over there? They agree with us.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because you got
but
these
that
token
Negro doesn't
Negroes right
represent
here.
our community, though.
Right, but you got these token Negroes saying stuff that they agree with, and so it takes the wind out of the conversation because look at that Negro, they agree with us, so we ain't got to really hear your conversation.
Mm-mm. What's that old saying?
Your mom.
All skin folk ain't kinfolk.
Right.
No, them ain't
I
kinfolk.
tell them quickly. It's real simple. Go ask your mama. Go ask that stinking one-eyed peg leg mama. That's go ask her about black on black crime. That's what you do.
Why are you talking about their mamas, though?
Dang, bro.
Because it's stupid.
Look, why are you talking about their mamas, though?
My thing is, man, it's two totally different conversations. Listen, if we're talking about if we're having a conversation about missing kids, you can't come to me and then start talking about abused animals. You know what I'm saying? It's two totally different conversations that we're having.
But that's the way they change the
We
conversation.
can talk about black on black crime. We can discuss it. No problem. I have no issue whatsoever having discussions with people about black on black crime, black or white people. Have no problem having these discussions. But that's one discussion. But when I'm talking about when it comes to racial inequality, you can't do it because I'm going to shut down on you and tell you to get up my face at that point. Because those two conversations are not interchangeable.
Right.
Period. And when people try to do that, like old boy we had on the show that time, that a few months ago.
A couple months ago.
Yeah. For me, man, that was just, and listen, I want to listen to people. I do. But when you start saying things like black people don't care about each other, obviously black lives don't matter to black people because we kill each other, I'm gonna tell you your mama stink. Because that's the only answer that's the best answer that I can give you. Well, if black lives matter, why don't they matter to black people? Because your mama's a hoe. That's just wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Seriously, James?
I'm sorry.
Jeez.
I'm
Lord
sorry.
be with him. I thought I was rough in these streets. Hey, boy.
James,
Y'all just pray for me.
James is giving all the skippity paps tonight.
I get upset, man, at those conversations because they're just not interchangeable conversations. And for a black person to do that, for me, man, is you just are out of touch, and I don't want to deal with you.
You are a coon. You are a coon. You are a house Negro. That's all I got to say about it.
Like we can discuss anything, man, but to do that, to bring that up and to actually make statements like that, to say black people don't care about black lives because black people are killing black folks, that doesn't make sense.
That's a huge generalization, I mean.
Right. Yeah. Some folks ain't never killed nobody.
I ain't killed nobody.
Mario, you didn't get. Never mind. Don't say Mario. Don't you say. Right. Don't you say a word. You plead the fifth. Period. Mario plead the fifth. Forget I asked that question. Steve, go ahead. I'm done talking.
One time, look, that was this one time at band camp.
His name was Timmy, I think.
Oh, boy.
All right, guys.
Yeah, man. That conversation it's we've got to learn, man, honestly and straight up, we've got to learn to separate those conversations.
Right. And we
If we're
need
gonna
to
talk about black on black crime, let's talk about that. If we're going
Right.
to talk about inequality, let's talk about that. Let's not try to combine the two.
and if anybody tries to change the conversation with you on that, bring them
Tell them
back.
they mama
Bring
stink.
them right back. That's a different conversation.
Bring them back. Bring them back. All right,
And
guys.
you got to make sure we bring them back to reality, because the reality of it is, and I think Steve said it earlier, is that when Jerome and Pookie get into it and Jerome kills Pookie, man, justice is swift for Jerome.
Swift for Jerome.
Jerome going to jail quickly.
Maybe.
But Billy does it,
Go
and Billy gets to go home for a few days.
Billy.
And they got to investigate it and get more evidence. They had a video with this man with his knee on George Floyd's neck, talking about he can't breathe, calling out to his mama, and they needed more evidence before they even arrested him.
And Breonna Taylor, you got 3 cats shooting into an apartment.
Listen, they said it. They said we went into the apartment and we shot her because her boyfriend shot at us.
Right.
And we shot her. We didn't shoot the person who shot at us. We shot her. Like, they said this.
Right.
And no arrest. So for me, man, I just, that's the reason why I get so upset when people bring up black on black crime, because I can't walk into the police station and say I shot Jerome and then walk back out of the police station and come home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's not going to happen.
Right.
So for me, when you start to do that, you are definitely a coon and you out of touch. And you really hate. Yeah, right. And they mama stink.
All right, James.
And you've just lost it, man.
Right.
You've completely lost it. And these conversations have to be had, but they have to be had separately.
Right.
We've got to have them separately. If we want to talk about black on black crime, we can talk about it. We can talk about how to address it, what we need to do to deal with it, and ways to, crime prevention and all that. Because we got to understand something. The police are not crime preventers. They show up after the crime has been done. Okay? They don't.
All right, guys. Thank you. Look how he done ran away. You done. Look at him.
There's no way I can get one in. Steve. I had to type it.
He means it. He means
down
it.
a rabbit
All right,
hole.
look,
I ain't got a lot to say. That's why we talking 15 minutes by itself. My ADD then kicked in, came off, and came back again.
I'm passionate, man. It's
He's
passionate.
passionate. He's very passionate about this conversation. All right, we've been on an hour, guys. I think we need to let it go.
Let's wrap it.
Hey, his neck didn't hurt that bad, did it?
Apparently not.
It hurts, man. It hurts.
Okay. All right, guys. You've been watching the Three Black Guys show, man. It's been a pleasure coming back on. Our good friend Tracy, she came on my side. Remember, go to the Three Black Guys show and hit like, hit subscribe so you can see us and hear us when we come on, guys. We took a week off, man, just to get it, to refresh ourselves so we can have a good time and not be so serious all the time. Mario, any last words?
Any last words? Last words, stay angry.
Okay. Right out. James, one last word. Only one.
Y'all have a good night.
You couldn't even do that right. Well, guys, I just want to say take care of yourself. Be safe. We're still dealing with COVID out here. Take care of your children. Be blessed. And we will see y'all next week. Same time, same bat channel. Three Black Guys show. Throw your threes up even if you're at home. We can't see them, but throw your threes up. Throw
Put
your
'em-
keys up. 3 Black Guys Show. We out, guys. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Y'all be
All right.